Welcome to the channel rather dubiously called Rufioh. I'm the best Yugituber in my street, a very average player who uses this platform to trick you into thinking I'm good at and capable of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On any kind of level at all. Before we get started, why don't you hit subscribe for me, even if it's not because you secretly enjoy bad content, but because you pity me. I need every bit of help I can get.
Hi guys, it's Joe here from Rufioh. As you can tell, I look very tired, all these bags under my eyes. That's because we woke up to the news of the new Manascrew 5. Not officially termed, but we all know exactly what that means. There's some great news as well. I think most people agree that it's great news, so across the board. Links and pendulums haven't changed. They still operate in exactly the same way, so we're still going to have the extra monster zone for links to go into and play out from there. Pendulums are also restricted to those zones, as they always have been. However, XE summoning, Synchro summoning, Fusion summoning can now go in all zones. I believe it's all zones, straight into all zones. We're also getting translations out there from the conference that came out. It was like in the middle of last night from what I can see. I've woken up to that news this morning and got super excited and just had to release this video. So this is going to change some things. It's not going to change an awful lot in the sense of, I think the way the meta is played and that kind of thing, we're still going to continue to see that kind of, that playstyle still being attributed because links are still the most generic summoning method, so I think that we will continue to see that in play. However, what it does do is give a nice little boost to a lot of older decks and a lot of older archetypes that were absolutely just bottlenecked by the link summoning methods and that sort of restricted you from spamming out like synchros and that kind of thing. So stuff like Black Wings, which have had a gazillion fucking layers of support, so you can expect to see some people will be rocking up with that sort of stuff. I mean, decks even stuff like Fluffles, Zoo to a degree. I mean, obviously I know that was a whole different beast. They still aren't fully off the list yet, but it'll give you some ideas of the kind of things you might see people experimenting with early in that mechanic. Now, it does go without saying that we maybe shouldn't plan too far ahead. The OCG is getting this in April of next year, and we will get it, well, whenever they decide to give it to us. So probably not too far afterwards. We're probably looking in the next 9 to 10 months or so before we get that released here and it makes those changes. Now, the good thing with this is that it means that there's no difference in terms of summoning mechanics, which is something that a lot of people were concerned about. And what I do think it does actually is gives an option for people, older players in the game, players that are coming over from, say, Duel Links and that kind of thing, to be able to acclimatise a little bit easier, actually, because they don't need to necessarily understand these summoning mechanics as well to get started in the game. And I think that before this, Link summoning was an absolute mandatory thing. You had to do it. Now, again, I do think that we will continue down that route of people doing Link summoning as their primary extra deck summoning mechanic. However, we are going to see a little bit of a rise, I think, especially in rogue builds in particular. But yeah, I just thought it was quite an interesting thing to sort of touch on this morning. I'm still looking at all the information that's coming out. We've had a couple of videos out already from some of the bigger Yugitubers who are going to be talking, and probably in a bit more detail than I am, about that new summoning mechanic. And again, we're just waiting on translations. Nothing's official. Technically, we don't even know that the TCG is getting this yet. We just know that it's happening in the OCG, but let's be honest, if it's happening there, it is going to happen in a TCG as well. There's also some sort of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush that people are talking about, which is this new anime, which is, it looks like speed dueling on steroids, to be quite honest with you. I don't think that really changes anything for us who play the actual TCG. I think it's just another way for them to promote an additional product and again get people into a more casual game state. So I won't go into too much detail on that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people out there covering all of the information on that. Again, I just wanted to have this quick discussion about what Manascrew 5 is and how it changes things. So again, Synchro summoning, XE summoning, Fusion summoning can go in all the zones. There's no limit on the amount of them you have, apart from obviously you have your 5th and 6th zone now. But for link summoning, the requirement remains the same in that you need to go into areas where there are arrows, and of course it still bottlenecks pendulums because the pendulum summoning mechanic as a whole is just absolutely insane. I will note though that this doesn't change much in that actually gives them a little bit more freedom. So people who complained about pendulum before and were concerned about the impact that was having, actually in some other ways that this actually benefits them from being able to use those extra zones without needing the link arrows, because a lot of the time you actually see them going into the gates through fusions, through XEs with stuff like Absolute, and then, you know, from there on into the fusion and that kind of thing. So we may actually see a little buff to those decks in a kind of indirect way. So anyway, like I say, guys, I just wanted to have a quick chat regarding the new Master Rule and what I've seen this morning. Again, it's all absolutely news to me, so apologies that I'm waffling. I've literally had like 5 hours sleep. I woke up, I saw this notification on my phone about the whole thing, and I just had to get up and record it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you very much for checking in, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the garbage content I put together for you enough to hit subscribe and maybe even drop a thumbs up and a comment. Before you go, be sure to check out the links in the description to help support the people who are making this channel a possibility. Thanks again for checking in, and I'll see you in the next one.